Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Have you ever promised yourself, this weekend I'm going to study English for 3 hours? Saturday arrives, but you're tired from work. You have errands to finish, family responsibilities to handle, and 100 other things competing for your attention. So you tell yourself you'll study on Sunday instead. Then Sunday becomes busy too, and suddenly another week is passed with almost no English practice. If this sounds familiar, the problem may not be your motivation. The problem may be your study plan. Many English learners believe that serious progress requires long study sessions. They imagine sitting at a desk for 2 or 3 hours, memorizing vocabulary, reviewing grammar, and completing lesson after lesson. But for a busy adult, that kind of routine is often difficult to maintain. A better approach is surprisingly simple. Instead of asking, how can I find 3 free hours? Ask yourself, where can I find 3 free minutes? 3 minutes while making coffee. 5 minutes while walking to work. 10 minutes during your commute. 1 minute before going to sleep. Individually, these moments may seem too small to matter. But when you repeat them every day, they begin to create something much more powerful than one exhausting weekend study session. They create consistency. And consistency is what turns English from something you occasionally study into something you regularly use. Remember this principle. Small daily effort repeated consistently beats massive effort done rarely. You don't need to redesign your entire life around English. You don't need to wake up 2 hours earlier or sacrifice every weekend. You simply need to place small moments of English inside the life you already have. And that's exactly what we're going to build in this video. You'll learn how to connect simple English exercises to routines you already do every day, so practicing becomes easier, more automatic, and much harder to forget. Let's begin with a powerful technique called habit stacking and see how an ordinary daily routine can become a trigger for improving your English. Now that you know you don't need long study sessions to improve your English, the next question is simple. How do you make sure those small practice sessions actually happen every day? The answer is a technique called habit stacking. Habit stacking means connecting a new habit to something you already do automatically. Instead of trying to remember, I need to practice English today, you attach English practice to an existing part of your routine. That routine becomes your reminder. For example, you probably brush your teeth every morning without creating a schedule or setting an alarm. You don't need motivation to remember it because the habit is already part of your life. Now imagine attaching 2 minutes of English thinking to that routine. Your rule could be, after I brush my teeth, I will describe my morning plans in English for 2 minutes. You can do the same thing with your morning coffee. Instead of drinking coffee while scrolling through your phone, use those 3 minutes to speak English. Describe what you're going to do that day. Today I have an important meeting. I need to finish my report. After work, I want to buy some groceries. The sentences don't need to be complicated. The goal is simply to connect English with something that already happens every morning. Your commute can become another trigger. The moment you get into your car, get on the bus, or begin walking to work, play a short English podcast. When you start washing the dishes, describe what you're doing in English. Before you go to bed, record a 1-minute voice note about your day. Notice what's happening here. You're not trying to create extra hours. You're using moments that already exist. A useful formula is, after I do existing habit, I will do small English habit. After I make coffee, I will say 3 sentences in English. After I get into the car, I will listen to English for 10 minutes. After I finish dinner, I will review 5 useful expressions. After I get into bed, I will record a 1-minute English voice note. The smaller and more specific the habit is, the easier it becomes to repeat. Don't begin with, after dinner, I'll study English for an hour. That's still a large commitment. Start with something so easy that even on a busy day, you can complete it. Remember this principle. Don't search for more time. Attach English to the time you already have. Once you do this consistently, ordinary routines begin reminding you to practice automatically. And in the next part, we'll build your first two micro habits, a simple morning speaking routine, and an easy listening habit you can use during your daily commute. Now that you understand habit stacking, let's turn the idea into something practical. We're going to start with two small habits that fit naturally into the beginning of your day. Neither requires extra study time, a textbook, or a complicated routine. You simply connect English to things you're already doing. The first habit is your morning brain setup. Every morning, while making coffee, tea, or breakfast, say 3 simple goals for your day in English. That's all. You don't need advanced vocabulary, and you don't need perfect grammar. For example, you might say, "Today I need to finish my report. I want to exercise after work. Tonight I'm going to call my family." 3 simple sentences can take less than 1 minute, but they immediately activate your English-speaking brain. Why is this useful? Because many learners spend the entire day thinking in their native language and only switch to English when it's time to study. That sudden change can feel difficult. A short morning routine gives your brain an early signal. English is part of my day. You're not studying random textbook sentences. You're using English to describe your real plans, which makes the language more personal and easier to remember. If 3 sentences become easy, expand them slightly. Instead of saying, "I have a meeting today," try, "I have a meeting at 10, and I need to explain our new project." Don't force yourself to speak for 10 minutes. The habit should remain small enough that you can repeat it even on your busiest morning. The second habit is commute listening. If you spend time driving, riding a bus or train, or walking to work, you already have a natural space for English practice. Choose a simple English podcast or audio lesson of about 10 minutes and listen during your commute. But here's an important rule. Choose material that you can mostly understand. Your commute shouldn't feel like an exam. If every sentence contains 5 unknown words, you'll probably become frustrated and stop listening after a few days. Instead, choose clear, comfortable English that allows you to follow the main message without constantly checking a dictionary. And you don't need to understand every word. Listen for the main idea. Notice familiar expressions. Pay attention to how sentences sound. If one useful phrase catches your attention, repeat it quietly when it's safe and practical to do so. Even if you only remember one expression from the entire 10-minute episode, you've still added something valuable to your English. Now imagine these 2 habits working together every weekday. While making coffee, you speak 3 English sentences about your day. During your commute, you listen to 10 minutes of understandable English. You haven't opened a textbook. You haven't created a 2-hour study schedule. Yet before your workday has even properly started, you've already practiced both speaking and listening. That's the power of micro habits. They may feel small today, but repeated every morning, they create dozens of hours of English exposure over time. Remember this principle: a small habit doesn't need to feel impressive. It needs to be easy enough to repeat. Tomorrow morning, don't try to transform your entire English routine. Just say 3 sentences while making your drink, then add a little English listening to a journey you already make. Once these habits become part of your normal day, you can build on them without adding much extra effort. And in the next part, we'll add 2 more habits that work almost automatically, turning your digital environment into everyday English exposure and recording a simple 60-second voice note before you go to sleep. Now you already have 2 small English habits built into your morning. You speak 3 simple goals while making coffee, and you listen to understandable English during your commute. Next, let's add 2 more habits that fit naturally into the rest of your day. The third habit is to create an English digital environment. Think about how many times you look at your phone every day. You open messages, check notifications, look at settings, use maps, read menus, and move between different apps. Most of these actions happen automatically. That means your phone can quietly become an English learning tool without adding another study session to your schedule. Start by changing the language of your phone or a few familiar apps to English. You don't have to change everything immediately. If that feels overwhelming, begin with one app you already know well. Soon, words like settings, notifications, privacy, search, share, save, and delete will become familiar because you see them in a real context every day. This kind of exposure may seem too small to matter, but remember the principle of this entire video. Small actions become powerful when they're repeated consistently. If you see the same English words 20 or 30 times every week, you don't need to memorize them from a vocabulary list. Your daily life does the repetition for you. Now let's add the fourth habit, the evening voice note. Before you go to sleep, open the voice recorder on your phone and speak for just 60 seconds about your day. You might say, "Today was quite busy. I had 2 meetings in the morning. I finished an important task after lunch, and tonight I had dinner with my family. Tomorrow I want to wake up earlier." Don't prepare a script. Don't stop to search for perfect vocabulary. And don't turn 1 minute into a 20-minute grammar lesson. Your goal is simply to finish the day by producing a little English with your own voice. Let me tell you about a busy parent named Michael. Michael wanted to improve his English, but between work, preparing meals, helping his children, and taking care of the house, he rarely had enough energy for long evening lessons. Every weekend, he promised himself he would study for 2 hours. Most weekend, he was simply too tired. So he changed his strategy. While making coffee, he said 3 sentences about his plans. During his commute, he listened to a short English lesson. He changed several familiar apps to English, and before sleeping, he recorded a 1-minute summary of his day. None of these habits felt difficult. But after several weeks, English had quietly become part of his normal routine. He wasn't constantly asking, "When can I study?" His existing habits were reminding him automatically. That's the real advantage of this system. You don't need to fight your busy schedule. You work with it. Remember this principle: the best English routine is not the most impressive one. It's the one that still happens when life gets busy. Of course, even the best routine will eventually meet a difficult day. You'll get home late, feel exhausted, or simply lose motivation. So what should you do when your normal English habit feels impossible? In the next part, you'll learn the never miss twice rule and discover how 1 minute of practice can protect your consistency when life doesn't go according to plan. So far, we've built a simple English routine around moments that already exist in your day. But no matter how good your routine is, eventually you're going to have a bad day. Maybe you wake up late. Maybe work becomes unusually stressful. Maybe your children need your attention, or you get home exhausted and don't feel like practicing anything. When that happens, many learners make a dangerous mistake. They think, "I missed my English practice today, so I'll start again next week." 1 missed day becomes 2. 2 days become a week. Before long, the habit disappears completely. That's why you need one simple rule: never miss twice. Missing 1 day isn't the problem. Life happens. You don't need to feel guilty about it. The important thing is what you do next. If you miss your morning speaking practice today, return to it tomorrow. If you forget your evening voice note tonight, record one the next evening. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for a new month. Simply return to the habit at the next opportunity. There's another strategy that makes this even easier. On extremely busy or tiring days, use what we can call your minimum viable habit. This means doing the smallest possible version of your normal English routine. Maybe you normally speak English for 3 minutes while making coffee. On a difficult morning, speak for just 1 minute. Maybe you usually listen to a 10-minute podcast during your commute. If you're exhausted, listen for only 2 minutes. Maybe your evening voice note normally lasts 60 seconds. On a bad day, record just 1 or 2 sentences. The goal on those difficult days isn't improvement. The goal is continuity. Think about exercise. If you normally walk for 30 minutes but only have 5 minutes today, 5 minutes is still better than doing nothing. More importantly, you're protecting the identity of someone who exercises regularly. English works the same way. When you complete even one tiny practice session, you're telling yourself, I'm still someone who uses English every day. That identity helps you return to your full routine when life becomes easier again. Don't make the mistake of believing that a small practice session doesn't count. It counts because it keeps the habit alive. Remember this principle. On good days, build your English. On bad days, protect your English habit. And if you miss once, never miss twice. Consistency doesn't mean being perfect every day. It means returning quickly whenever your routine gets interrupted. And in the final part, we'll turn everything you've learned into a simple 30-day consistency challenge. You won't need to practice every habit at once. You'll choose just 2 small habits, connect them to your existing routine, and give yourself 1 month to discover how powerful a few minutes of English every day can become. Now you have a complete system for fitting English into a busy life. But before you leave this video, there's one important thing I want you to avoid. Don't try to do everything tomorrow. When people feel motivated, they often create an enormous plan. They decide to speak English every morning, listen to podcasts for an hour, learn 50 new words, record themselves every night, and study grammar before bed. For a few days, it feels exciting. Then life gets busy again, and the entire routine disappears. Instead, I want you to do something much simpler. Choose just 2 micro habits from today's lesson. Maybe you'll say 3 English sentences while making your morning coffee and record a 60-second voice note before bed. Or perhaps you'll listen to 10 minutes of English during your commute and change one familiar app to English. That's enough. Now make one commitment. Practice those 2 habits for the next 30 days. Don't worry about being perfect. Some days you'll have more energy, and some days you'll barely have enough time for 1 minute. When that happens, remember the rule you learned today. Never miss twice. The goal isn't to create the most impressive English schedule. The goal is to create one you can actually keep. After 30 days, those tiny moments begin to add up. More importantly, English starts becoming part of your normal life instead of another task you constantly struggle to find time for. Remember this. Small daily effort repeated consistently beats massive effort done rarely. So choose your 2 habits today. Start small. Stay consistent. And give yourself 30 days before judging your progress. If you're joining this challenge, subscribe to the channel and comment below with the 2 English habits you're choosing. Your comment can become a small promise to yourself, and it may inspire another learner to begin too. You don't need more hours in your day. You need a few minutes that belong to English. Keep practicing, keep showing up, and let those small habits build the fluent English you want, one ordinary day at a time.